The biggest thing we've got to remind people is the police can't be at any location 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The neighborhood, the neighbors know what's going on and they see what's happening. They don't have to be afraid to call. They can call anonymously or they can call Crime Stoppers, but we need the information. If we don't know there's a problem, we can't go in and help fix it. But if they're willing to assist in solving the problem, and by doing that, they're going to call the police or call Crime Stoppers, let us know, we'll come in and help them. We're more than willing. That's what we want to do. And when we work together, we get results like we did yesterday.
Yeah, I guess it really comes down to community empowerment, doesn't it?
Of course it does. They have to decide on their own that they're not going to put up with it anymore, and when they decide that they're going to take back their neighborhood, in some incidents, that's what's happening, we're there to help, and we'll work together to do that for them.
The note is menacing, left inside the home of Liberal leader Justin Trudeau. There was a break-in. Trudeau was away, but his wife and children were asleep unaware. Today, we've learned more about yesterday's mysterious break-in, details on the intruder's message, which was left with a pile of kitchen knives. CBC's Willie Lowry has the latest.
Justin Trudeau was all smiles today at Montreal's Gay Pride Parade, shaking hands and wooing potential voters. But the smile quickly faded when asked about the break-in at his Ottawa home.
We're working with the RCMP now, and we're taking a look at possible avenues to reassure me as I travel across the country, working hard that my family is safe, and obviously reassure my family when I'm not home that they're going to be safe.
No one was hurt in the break-in, but Trudeau says he and his family are still rattled. His wife and children were asleep inside when it happened. It's not clear if anything was taken, but a letter was left behind. According to a CBC police source, the note was placed on top of a stack of household items, including kitchen knives. The message on the note: these items could have been taken, but they weren't, so you should consider locking your door in the future. Trudeau would not comment on the letter.
No, I'm not going to talk any more about the details. We'll allow the RCMP investigation to continue.
While Trudeau spent much of his childhood surrounded by RCMP protection, his current position as leader of the second opposition party does not require it.
I think the most probably alarming part of it is an individual left a note and nothing else was done. So from that aspect, that is disconcerting and something that I think needs to be reviewed.
We tried to contact the RCMP to see if their protective policy toward Trudeau and his family has changed in the wake of the break-in. They've yet to respond to our request. Willie Lowry, CBC News, Montreal.
Well, Ottawa police say they've identified the person who entered Justin Trudeau's home in the middle of the night earlier this month, but he won't be charged. Trudeau's wife and 3 children were sleeping at the time. They weren't hurt, but they were shaken by the incident. As Julie Van Dusen tells us, investigators are convinced it was all a mistake.
This morning, all was quiet at Justin Trudeau's home in the upscale neighborhood of Rockcliffe Park.
Pretty safe neighborhood, or?
Totally safe.
RCMP could be seen patrolling the street. At the Ottawa police station, the announcement came that the mystery was solved.
There's no question this is an odd case. The circumstances around it are quite odd.
The police cracked the case after they released a surveillance video of what they called a person of interest last Friday.
He decided to come in holding that newspaper in hand to the front desk here and say, "It looks like this is me. I think I did this."
The 19-year-old was very drunk that night and, according to police, entered the Trudeau's home in the early morning through an unlocked back door by mistake.
He believed he was entering into the proper residence of his friend.
Once he realized his mistake, say the police, he felt remorse and wrote a note warning the homeowners to lock their doors. He left kitchen knives on top of the note.
He thought he was doing the right thing by leaving a note and apologizing, and he thought that would probably be the end of it.
Trudeau's wife and 3 young children were at home at the time of the intrusion. Trudeau was away for work.
The idea of someone in the house while my family was sleeping and I'm away working is very distressing.
Trudeau often wades into crowds to mingle with Canadians. He was given RCMP protection at a rally last week following the break-in. Ottawa police say the break-in was not related to Trudeau personally. There was no malice. They say the man won't be charged.
This individual entered a house where he thought he was at the right residence, so he wasn't targeting Mr. Trudeau.
This neighbor thinks there should be some punishment.
Community service, for example, might be a way of saying, think next time before you drink that much, and frighten people so much that they're afraid to stay in their own home.
A Trudeau spokesperson says that Trudeau respects the decision by Ottawa police not to press charges. Meanwhile, the RCMP has not reported yet as to whether Trudeau should have a permanent security detail. He has no dedicated RCMP security at this time. Julie Van Dusen, CBC News, Ottawa.
В народе как называют ширка.
А что вы употребляли?
Да.
Давно употребляете?
Около 5 лет.
У вас были наркотики?
Да, у меня было с собой. Ну, куб ширки.